Welcome back to the Rogue Wave podcast. I love this segment. I mostly love the graphic for it, but this is where we go all around the Rogue, talking about the pop culture news you love to talk about. Was going to talk about some DC stuff. Might still talk about some DC stuff if we have some time, but gotta go all around the Rogue and talk about the major Deadpool casting announcement that took place last night. Good old Ryan Reynolds, just being Ryan Reynolds, right? Just doing his Ryan Reynolds thing. Releases a video and makes a huge announcement here, where basically we're gonna get some more Hugh. That's right, Hugh Jackman, who we just were talking about before, will return in Deadpool 3 as Wolverine. It was actually a very comical video. He kind of is talking about how he did some soul searching and was trying to come up with a grandiose way to enter the MCU, which of course is very difficult to do. And then he's like, I got nothing. So we did have one idea, and Hugh Jackman just happens to be in Ryan Reynolds' house brushing his teeth and walks right past him and says, hey, you want to be in Deadpool 3 and Wolverine? I know him by nothing else. He's like, sure, Ryan, whatever. And just walks up the stairs. It also confirmed the movie will officially hit theaters September 6th, 2024. My cousin texted me when this happened, and my initial thought was, yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, why would it be, of course Hugh Jackman's going to return. Like, I never bought the fact that once Fox was sold, there he goes right there. Once Fox was sold to Disney, to me, this is just a matter of time before he returned to, I mean, the MCU is like it's the cool party to be in now. Everyone wants to be in the MCU. And especially, I mean, look at Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. I mean, this is it. You want to be in the cool club. This is the cool club. So, to me, this was, look at that. Look at that. Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds talking. I don't even know. I didn't even see this part. Did you see that part?
I hadn't seen this at all, ever.
You didn't see this at all?
I heard the announcement. I knew the announcement. I heard the announcement, but I didn't see the trailer for it.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman.
I would have probably avoided it anyway because I despise Ryan Reynolds.
You really?
So I would have probably I missed out on it because I would have been like, Ryan Reynolds, I'm not watching this.
I have to find an interview. I'm almost positive I still have the audio somewhere, but there's really not a lot of, like, if it's not on this this drive that I have, then I don't have it at all. But definitely, like, that's something I need to break out, because it is me interviewing Ryan Reynolds, and he was an awesome dude. Like, he was just flat out.
I met him. I met him at Texas, in the Texas Con. He was a great guy. I just don't like his shtick. I don't have anything. I don't have any problem with him personally. I think he's probably a decent guy. He makes some solid movies. The 2 or 3 movies I saw him in where he was actually dramatic and he was acting, I really liked him. And I don't like his form of humor. So.
No.
No.
I'm gonna shoot this over to Aaron, and maybe we can prop this up. I didn't even think about this, which I should have. Is a wonderful picture of a young lad who never was a journalism major and somehow got into Wizard magazine and ended up doing all the interviews for conventions. Which, who knew? It was a precursor to this, Hassan. Who knew? But no, I thought it was a pretty interesting. Like, one of those things. There we are. Yeah, there I am. Yep. So you can see me on screen. Anybody watching, go to youtube.com/roguematter and check it out, because it looks good. There's
how do
a young
we know
me.
That's you?
Well, do you know who that is back there? It's Darren Sanchez in the background.
That's very easy to tell. But I mean, how do we know that's you?
It's clearly me. It's a much younger me. I had more hair back then. It was a good time. And look how young Ryan Reynolds was, too. It was for Blade Trinity. I was interviewing him for that. I got to find that interview. I insulted him. It was very nice. You would have been proud. I wonder. So here, many things come to mind when I think about this announcement. First of all, the MCU, right? This is something.
Yes, and Jessica Biel. That
Yes,
was Jessica Biel.
She was very nice. She's a lovely
and David Goyer.
Yes.
And Darren Sanchez.
And Darren Sanchez. They all look very enthralled by my questions, though.
Yeah, they look.
Did you
riveted.
see that photo? Except David Goyer, who is sinking into his.
David Goyer was asleep. You put
David Goyer's like, I want to have this interview so badly.
Yeah, you put him to sleep. But the other two look like, oh well, we're getting paid, so we might as well listen to this guy.
I don't think they were getting paid back then, though. This is pre Comic-Cons. This was promotion. This was, part of their contract to go and promote these films.
All right, so then the look is we're not even getting paid. Why should we even talk to this guy? I mean, it works either way.
Because I was extremely entertaining, enthralling,
they look captivated, enthralled, and entertained. Absolutely.
They are pretty good actors, though, aren't they? Here's the thing, right? This, to me, part of me was, again, I almost expected Wolverine, Hugh Jackman to be Wolverine again. Like, this is not something that kind of threw me off. It makes total sense. The only avenue can be Deadpool 3. It will probably be a multiverse thing. It almost has to be a multiverse thing because there's the issue, obviously, of, going forward, who is going to be Wolverine. Hugh Jackman retired, and even if he didn't retire, he's getting up there in age to the point where they're going to need to recast that if they're going to have Wolverine at all.
Wolverine is no spring chicken. Like, the actual character of Wolverine is not a young guy. So, I mean, they don't necessarily have to replace him.
Correct.
If they didn't want to. I'm sure Hugh Jackman doesn't want to stay. Well, I don't know. If they give him a Brinks truck full of money, then he'll probably stay.
Right. I mean,
But
let's assume. Let's just make the assumption that there's going to be a new Wolverine at some point. I'm going to assume that they will leave that door open for Hugh Jackman to return, but for the most part, it's going to be a multiverse kind of situation where Hugh Jackman, if he chooses not to continue, they can bring a new Wolverine in and keep the franchise going. But that being said, this to me feels like Spider-Man No Way Home now, and it feels like. Look, I'm going to call it a gimmick, but I'm not going to call that a negative gimmick. And Ryan Reynolds even said, like, look, I got nothing for why this is going to be an amazing thing. So why not do this? Because it is an amazing stunt cast move to do, is to bring Hugh Jackman back, who said he was done, to bring back as one of the most popular characters of all time, and see two characters and two actors who have gone at each other playfully, jokingly for so many years. Like, it's a great move to do, right? It's a great gimmick. It's a great stunt. It definitely will get eyeballs. And I'm not against it. I'm really not. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be interesting. But it does two things for me. One, it makes me believe this is the first. I mean, this is going to be the first mutant, Miss Marvel aside, from the previous X-Men, iterations in terms of characters, not necessarily actors or actresses, that are going to make their appearances in the MCU. Professor X obviously did a cameo in the Multiverse of Madness. Again, it kind of the multiverse lends itself to this. It facilitates things like this where you can bring in previous actors to play these characters, but a cameo here, a cameo there. We're not getting mutants before 2024. That was my first, thought. Thinking deeper from this, we're not going to get X-Men characters. We might. You had that fake Quicksilver in WandaVision. You've had a lot of teasing, but I think this is the definitive. We're not getting X-Men before Deadpool 3 comes out. And B, again, on the gimmick side of things, and again, I was all about it with No Way Home because it worked. It worked really well. However, No Way Home was exciting because of the two movies that had, the two franchises that had come out previous, right? To me, the gimmick works because there was that whole franchise thing that had come out previous. This works because of all the, the franchise that came out previous. But to me, it's like, okay, phase 4 and 5, there's a problem when you keep running the same, look, Guardians of the Galaxy turned out to be a big hit. Iron Man, you could call a B character. But outside of that, now, the excitement, I don't know if the MCU is capable of delivering the same kind of Endgame-esque thrills with characters that are not the major franchise characters. And X-Men's going to be it when they eventually show up. But prior to that, I feel like, all right, I'm going to look forward to Deadpool 3. Everything else, I'm going to go, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to walk out going, that was good or that was bad, but not be moved by it. Like Shang-Chi, I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Nice movie. I'm not moved by it. I'm not moved by any of the stuff that's on the on Disney Plus these days. I thought WandaVision was great. I thought Loki was interesting, but I'm not like, it's not earth-shattering stuff to me. And the build up to it, I think, to get something that has the same level of excitement that, Infinity War was able to produce, that Endgame was able to produce, this will be up there, but it's gimmick more than story driven. You're shaking your head agreeing with me. I understand.
No, I'm shaking my head because you kind of seem like you're trying to ask a question, but you're not finishing any of your sentences.
I'm not asking a question. No, I'm not asking a question.
So your point was then it's a gimmick.
And it's the second time it's being used.
That's like I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
No, but I'm saying it's a gimmick. They used it with No Way Home, but what it ultimately speaks to me and says, all right, MCU Phase 4, and then going into Phase 5 is going to be. They're relying on gimmicks to generate the same level of excitement that their previous movies had just done, kind of organically, story-wise, character-wise, and that's, look. I'm not going to knock MCU. What it did is what it has done is unprecedented. It is amazing, but at some point. Just like the convention bubble, we're waiting for that convention, the Comic-Con bubble to burst. How many more massive Comic-Cons can there be to the point where eventually people grow tired of said Comic-Con and it's okay. It's not what it was. It's just okay. And this is one of those things where I'm like, all right, this might be a marker. We might look back and say, you know what? This was the time period where the MCU kind of ran out of gimmicks. And maybe their movies just aren't doing what it used to do. That's what it says. That's what it speaks to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And by your silence, you agree clearly that is exactly what you get out of this casting as well. What do you take from this casting?
If all I have to do to agree with you is just not talk, then hey, let's go with that.
Let's but what's your take? I mean, do you think this is a gimmick or a gimmick that
like
beyond just a gimmick?
Of course it's a gimmick, but I mean, what's wrong with gimmicks? Everything is a gimmick. Like someone said that, someone said something else one time was a cash grab. Yeah, movies are cash grabs. Like they don't make movies for free. They don't make them for their own edification. Everything is a cash grab. A restaurant is a cash grab. They want your money. They're going to give you food, and they want your money. You open a restaurant.
But a cash grab means you're not going to get quality.
No. That's an implied meaning. Basically, the term in and of itself is cash grab. It's being done only specifically to make money, right?
Yes.
And it's a capitalist society. Everything is a cash grab. So it's a nonsense critique.
No, it's not. I disagree. Yeah, 100%.
It is. I know you don't agree with me. That's fine. Yeah. But you asked me what I thought, right? So you're gonna now you're gonna talk over me, even though I sat here in silence and let you speak for the whole time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my take on it.
That is a cash grab, and that's okay.
It's not a cash grab, and if it is a gimmick, fine. It's only bad if it doesn't work. And you can't know.
Oh, I think it'll definitely work. No, it'll definitely work.
No, you can't say it will work. You can't know if it will or won't.
I know. I can't. But my prediction is it will work. Yeah, it will absolutely work. I have no doubt.
The bottom line of saying as to whether or not it's a failure or it's the Phase 4 is a failure. It's not, or that their ideas are bankrupt and they're not going anywhere. I mean, their movies are still making a lot of money.
I'm not worried about the ideas. I'm not worried about the.
You asked me a question. I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to clarify though. I want to clarify what I was saying though. I'm saying that it's not as if I think their ideas are bankrupt.
I know, but I wasn't responding to your statement. I'm saying
no, I know. My point, my statement, what I was saying in my statement was, I think that the B-level characters, the C-level characters, it's a tremendous uphill battle for them to generate the same kind of excitement that we got from the A-list characters that were previously in the phase.
Especially since the A-list characters ended pretty much 3 years ago, and you're not even going to give it the 10 years that those characters had to build up before you announce that they failed. Then yeah, I guess not. I guess it's not going to amount to anything. That's fair. Yeah. Good for you. Well done.
That's the kind of cutting, in-depth argument we love to get on this show. What do you guys think? Chime in on the feed. Is this gimmicks for gimmicks' sake? Stunt casting? Is it? Are we all for it? Like I said, I'm for it. I'm for it in this time. What's that?
don't go if it's a gimmick. Look, if you feel not you, I'm talking to them. If you feel it's a gimmick and it's not, never mind. I'm good then, dude.
I'm just saying. I think that it's gimmick, absolutely, but I'm for it. If you're for it as well too, that will be interesting to see. All right, let us know what you think. Chime in on the Facebook feed. Chime in on the YouTube comment. He's mouthing stuff. See, that's good. Our listening audience can't hear him. And next week, it's New York Comic Con preview week because I'll be in New York Comic Con for pretty much the entire time. So we'll dive in. We'll take a look at some of the announcements. We'll give you a little bit of a preview. We've got a big major guest coming on next week as well too, which is Deirdre Eden. She's got a new book out on Rogue Matter. It is called The Watchers. It is debuting next week, and it is going to be tremendous. It is Rogue Matter's answer to the Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings. It's an ebook, so it's right in those veins, fantasy veins. It's going to be a lot of fun. We will see you folks next week. Rogue Wave. Hi guys, Mike Dolce here from the Rogue Wave podcast. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps us out. Leave a comment, let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes, and tune in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for a brand new episode of the Rogue Wave podcast. Hi guys, Mike Dolce here from the Rogue Wave podcast. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps us out. Leave a comment, let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes, and tune in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for a brand new episode of the Rogue Wave podcast.